So District Governor Veronica is originally from Louisiana. She has worked in the banking industry for over 28 years and is currently a community development manager and senior vice president with Pinnacle Financial Partners. At the bank, she focuses on community leadership, partnership, and development. She also leads the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council at the bank for the Eastern region. She's a graduate of Fayetteville State University, where she earned her bachelor's degree in sociology education. She also holds an executive master's degree in public administration from North Carolina Central University. And she obtained her certification in diversity, equity, and inclusion from Cornell University and the University of South Florida. Veronica, like past District Governor Marie, is an Army veteran. She became a Rotarian in 2008, joining the Rotary Club of Morrisville here in North Carolina. She served her club as president in 2012 through 13, and went on to serve her club and District 7710 in many roles, including club foundation chair, club service chair, district secretary, member of the District Disaster Relief Committee, District Rotary Against Drugs chairperson, District Four-Way Test Essay Contest chairperson. And she, like me, is a graduate and facilitator for the Rotary Leadership Institute. Veronica is action-oriented and believes that leaving a legacy is more about your actions and less about you as an individual. So please join me in welcoming District Governor Veronica Bent.
Good morning, everybody. David, am I going to be able to share my screen?
Yes, you are. Let me unshare mine.
Okay. Get to. All right, can everybody see that? Good?
Yes.
So good morning, everybody. I would first like to welcome you to this Rotary Year, where we know that our theme for this year for Rotary International is Create Hope in the World. I wanted to also make sure that we had a district theme for the year. So I've come up with a district theme that is changing lives through service. And the only way that we could change lives through service, I decided we needed to have three focus. It would be connections, collaboration, and community. And we will use this to create that hope in the world. So when we went to President-elect Training Seminar, known as PETS, back in February, I wanted to make sure that everybody that was going to be leaders were prepared to have a successful year. And as David just said, build a legacy that we're proud of. I've heard this word a lot this morning about being intentional about your planning and what you wish to accomplish, because that is the only way it will be success. I also wanted them to take away with all things are possible when there is purpose. You have to have purpose in order to figure out where you're going. So I want to talk about what our Rotary mission statement is. Can someone read that for me?
Yes, I will.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
We provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders.
Yes, so Rotary has a mission. We also have a vision. Who wants to read that vision statement for me?
I'll be glad to. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves.
Correct. Thank you for that. So we have a mission, we have a vision, but in order to execute that, we as Rotarians must know who we are and what we do. So we are a global network of people of action, 1.4 million strong and growing. We are your neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers. We believe that we have a shared responsibility to take action on our world's persistent issues. We do this by our clubs. We work together to help solve these issues. So now that we know our mission, our vision, and what part we play in that, we're on a good way of building the foundation. So Rotary also has 7 areas that we focus on. We promote peace, we fight disease, we provide clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, we save mothers and children, support education, grow local economies, and protect the environment. This is a reason that most of our service projects are the way they are. It's because we are focusing on our 7 areas. Our structure is very important. So let's talk a little bit about the structure that we have within Rotary. We have the foundation, which I describe as the engine to fueling those service projects. That's your giving. The reason we give is to do service projects to help change the lives of many of our people here locally and around the world. Then we have Rotary International. So although we have our districts, we have our clubs, we have our members, we have the Rotary International, which is what we belong to. I just told you, 1.4 million strong. Our clubs, though, are the biggest part of Rotary, and our members make up those clubs. This is why it's important that we have strong clubs. I'm painting a picture to you of what having a strong club looks like. I describe it and liken it to as building a house. So we know that when we build a house, you have to have a firm foundation. In order to have a firm foundation, you need to have all the right material to make sure it stays in place. Well, when we get ready to put up that structure for the house, that foundation still has to be strong. Because what happens if you build a house on a shaky foundation? The structure will not stand, neither anything else that you're putting. So that is what Rotary is like. And the members, by far, are the strong foundation. So let's talk a little bit, because I know there's a lot of new people that may not know District 7710 that well, and some of us that do. I wanted to make sure that we saw that our clubs and our districts, they're growing, but they're growing by their own way. They're being creative. We have some impact models. We have different, ways in which the interest clubs we have. Whatever you're interested in, we have people that just focus solely on community projects. Whatever your desire is or what the club desires, the purpose is, it takes on what that club wants to do. And it's okay to have membership rallied behind that. I will tell you, we are people of action, and we work together to make sure that we are helping to, as I stated, solve some of the world's most persistent problems. We have to do it together. We are proud to be a home of one of the Rotary Peace Centers. There are 7 in the world. The one that we have is Duke UNC. And we are a strong district with dedicated people of action who definitely turn their passion into purpose. So let's go back and talk about why I thought that we should have another district theme for this district, the 3 C's, focusing on creating hope. I felt like with COVID, we needed to reconnect with each other. We wanted to get to know our members after having been away from each other for a while. And that's the only way that we could grow our clubs, because we want to let everybody who has an idea have a voice and be heard at the table. We wanted to get to know other clubs in our district and in the world. We just don't want to be siloed clubs that all we do is work on our little project and we're not thinking about anybody else. We wanted to collaborate. We wanted to make sure that we partner with other clubs on service projects, both near and far. We understand that there is power in numbers. Community. I wanted to focus on the fact that we have 2 communities at work here. We have our internal Rotary community, and we have our outreach community that we help. We want to be a reflection of the communities we serve, and we want to promote Rotary in our local and global communities. We want to engage all of them. So let's talk a little bit about connections. So connections. I wanted the clubs to just not have a regular meeting and that's it. To me, that is not being a Rotarian. And there is a difference of going to Rotary and just having your meeting every week or every 2 weeks, monthly, whatever you have, and that connection piece would be missing. So I feel like if we have socials, and you could have Zoom socials, I love the fact that you came on into this meeting and you were talking with each other. You were getting to know each other. You didn't just start the meeting, let's get to business. Yes, business is important, but knowing, getting to know the strengths and talents of your members is equally important. I wanted the clubs to have fun. Who wants to belong to a dull club? Nobody's smiling, nobody's happy, but yet we're changing the world. Well, I think that you can do both. You can have fun, you can be engaged, all while changing the world. Don't forget to tell and show us what you're doing. We have a district newsletter. Facebook is another good example of how you can show and tell. The reason you are showing and telling is not just because you want to do it for your club's sake, but you may just inspire someone else that may be looking for an idea, might want to join what you're doing, or just be a help of saying, I just need an idea. Well, you can inspire them. So please put your Facebook post and your newsletters out. Collaborations. I think it's a great thing that you all are doing here. You're already doing the collaboration. The service project, you've reached across the water and you're looking to help someone globally. And we can use local people. The beauty about Rotary is you could sit right here in North Carolina and still do good work for someone globally. That's the beauty of it. Membership. We want to join other clubs in hosting what we just had at Discover Rotary. That's just an event that's telling people who are potential members what we're doing. Again, I feel if we are ignited with passion, it is contagious. Other people will say, wow, what's going on over there? What are you doing? Maybe there's something that I'd like to join. So don't keep this all to yourself. Please be willing to share it with other people that's looking to make a difference and what will connect us with our servant's heart. Again, I cannot mention the foundation enough. Your giving allows us to do so much in our communities and again, around the world. Invite also district committees and other district leadership to your meetings. We want to stay connected with the district and to talk about what's going on, how we're growing, what are some ways we can partner and collaborate with other clubs to make our vision and dreams come true. Community. We talked about utilizing public image to highlight the club activities and inspire others. We talked about social media, showcase your club. Tell us what you're doing. That is how we are creating hope in the world and telling the world about what we're doing. And last but not least, please consider sharing in the newsletter. If you wish to do so, go to news@rotary7710.org. Love to hear about the project that you're doing and a story written up so that everyone in the district will know the good works that this club is doing. So let's focus on growing. Why is membership important? It's important because we know, for one, we have more hands to do work, but we also have more people who are inspired to have that change happen. That's all about being a change maker. But we want to retain and grow our clubs. So we need that foundation, as we just talked about. We want to grow the members. We want to have members that belong to other clubs, be mentors to the new members that are coming in, help them understand what we are part of and how we continue to grow and build from their great ideas. Foundation giving, increase that giving. Think about Rotary Direct. I heard just in a recent district foundation meeting, set it and forget it. You know you're going to give it anyway, then let's go to Rotary Direct and just set that. Service projects, again, we know how many people that we impact their lives. They come back and give testimonials, and we're ever so proud because wearing that pin make us understand that, guess what? We are a beacon of hope, we're a beacon of light, and we are proud Rotarians helping people in the world by doing what? Giving them a hand up and not a handout. So, who's this guy? Let me go back. Who's this guy? Does anybody know this guy?
Some ugly looking guy.
I've never met him in my life.
Y'all didn't? Are y'all in good hands this year with growing this club?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
I
Absolutely.
think we are. That's right. Y'all should have known that when you got me, we're gonna have a talk back session. I don't talk to you, we talk together. We have we're communicating. That's part of it. So David, I wanted to not do this without recognizing all of my club leadership, because honestly, being the district governor, you can't do it by yourself. It's a team of people that work together to make sure. So David, we salute you and thank you for stepping into this and your leadership for this year. Yes, we can give him a hand. So next, this is Xavier Wortham. So we just talked about, he is what we called an assistant area governor. So he is here to help and support us as well with areas. So Xavier is not here, but he is alongside helping myself as well as David. Who are these people?
Marie, Peter.
What are y'all doing?
Everybody there. Oh,
What are y'all doing?
This was in Jamaica a few months ago when we worked, well, on the left, we did a project at the Gilby High School in rural Jamaica, where we helped to rebuild or renovate a nursing station. And then on the right, this was a visit to the School for the Deaf in Kingston that we are currently working with. And in the picture, of course, we see our David to the left. And then beside David is the immediate past president, Joan. The current president is next. That's Melissa. In the very back, the tallest person there, she's the principal of the school. And Marie's there. And of course, I am there on the right-hand side. So these are Jamaican pictures.
I know, I did my homework. Here's the thing. So when we talk about, and I wanted to demonstrate that, and I'm doing that at all of my clubs. So if we're going to be creating hope in the world, I wanted to ask you, does these pictures show us creating hope? Are these people smiling and looking like they're excited about the work that we're doing? I see that People of Action shirt. We are definitely creating hope in the world. What I want you to realize is that when you're looking for people to join your clubs, they'll go and find stuff and say, are they really doing what they say they're doing? This picture demonstrates that you are. And I wanted you to know that you should be proud of the work that you're doing. And because you're proud of what you're doing, I want you to make sure that it is somewhere on either Facebook or in the newsletter that you're talking about all of the good that you're doing in the world. I love the fact that we have what right in line with what we're doing for the district theme, as well as the Rotary International theme. This service project is having 2 countries come together to help people who are in need. We're connecting, we're collaborating, we have community, and all that rolls into is creating hope in the world. Who is excited about this project? Do y'all think it's gonna make a difference? Are you really gonna bring hope to those folks? Because if you don't feel it and you can't convince us, then what are we doing? That's what I'm talking about when I say that I need you to be on fire and ignite others with the servant's heart to go ahead and say, you know what, they are doing great things, because you are. I went a little further and I wanted to see what the vision statement was for the school. And right there, and I'm going to read it. It says the vision: upon graduation, all students will obtain certification at the national level detailing their achievement in the academic and/or technical vocational subjects, such that they are equipped for continued education at the tertiary. Did I say that right? Tertiary level or
Tertiary.
Yes, that word.
Tertiary.
There you go. Level or for independent living. Is that giving these folks deaf who are deaf? Are we giving them hope?
Absolutely.
Oh my.
Yes.
That's the part that makes the magic. That's the secret sauce. Their vision aligns with our vision. That's why I read that vision statement. And when we're doing projects, we need to make sure that they align. And this will change somebody's life forever. They will come out knowing that what Rotary was a part of helping these folks maintain and make that vision a reality. And that is exactly what we want to do. So I have a question to ask you guys. So if I'm thinking about joining your club, which I did my research, as you saw that, what am I going to get when I join? When people join this club, they will what? What's going to happen? Why should I join? Basically is what I'm asking you.
Fun, fellowship, and meaningful service projects that will generate hope and will have a lasting impact.
Absolutely.
And David, I might add as well, and having lots of fun with it. The Jamaica project, David, I think we need to do a full presentation on it, because you were working hard, as you saw in that picture, Marie and David shoveling large stones, and you see the smiles on the other people. It made the work light. We had such fun doing things together. Marie savored some of the Jamaican national dish, courtesy of one of the club members, and I think she was blown away by that kind of connection with the folk in Jamaica. So we do this with fun.
Mhm.
That is great. And that is exactly how you tell that story. And people will be ignited and say, wow, you know, this is something I would want to be part of. Who would not want to be a change maker and have fun while you're doing it? And of all places in Jamaica. No worries, Mom. Who would not? I'm married to a Jamaican, so, you know, I could carry the card. So, have me. All right, so I definitely have a club challenge for you all. I know that you're in the growing stage, but when you get a member, I want you to consider to retain and make sure that we engage all of our members. What you just said, Peter and David, we want to make sure that people are feeling connected, because with connection comes growth. You can't be connected to people and not have growth, so you have to make sure you're doing that. Growing your membership, be an irresistible club. Attraction, inclusivity, and flexibility. You guys are meeting on Zoom. You can't all meet in one place, but guess what? COVID taught us the one good thing, that we can get on Zoom and still be connected by our hearts, money, and mind. And guess what? And still get the work done. We want to carry that forward. Continue to be active in the community like you are. Collaborate. You're doing a great job. Consider partnering. We want more partners to this very good project that you're doing that is going to definitely change the lives of a lot of young people coming into their own. Intentionally allow your club to be a reflection of the community they serve. So I'd love to get maybe a testimonial from how this has changed or will change the life of a young person who is deaf. We always talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and being a DEI leader, I want you to know that that is one of the things we focus on. Lots of times we look at color, we look at sexual orientation, but I want you to look at what we call neurodiversity. That is people that have special abilities or different abilities who just want to be just like everybody else because they are in their own right. They have their own superpower, but they just need a little bit more attention to get to their goal and to help their journey. It's like Peter said, I am helping you carry those rocks in the shovel. You know that you have someone or a group of people who are now your family that are going to help you get to your end goal and your results. I also wanted to challenge everyone to have a meeting dedicated to mental health, to invite a professional to do so. Why is mental health important? Well, I want to talk to you about how we even got to the theme of create hope in the world. So we know that our RI president, Rotary International President, Gordon McNally, Gordon came up with create hope in the world is because he has a personal story, a tragedy, if you will. His brother committed suicide. He otherwise looked very healthy, very good. No one would know that behind that smile, there was some difficulties happening because people who are experiencing mental health, and we all at some point do, just so you know, you might not know it, but you do experience some mental health challenges, even depression and certain things like that. We need to make sure that when we ask someone, how are you today? And when the first response is fine, you can look at them and know that, is that really a fine, or what is behind their eyes? We want to be that connected that we are aware that our fellow people are struggling, and that we might can say one or two words or get them the help that they need from someone. We know here in our area on North Carolina State campus, we have had lots, too many suicides. One is too much with our kids. So we do not want to have this continue without focusing ourselves. And lastly, of all the good that we're doing in the world, we want to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, you know what, am I good today? Or do I just need to have what we call a mental health day, where I just need to make sure that we're going to zone out everything. I'm not going to look at the computer. I'm not going to pick up the telephone today. I'm going to focus on myself and make sure that I can go for many more days to come to have a mental health state. But I'm going to talk to somebody if I need to. Let's take the taboo out of saying, oh my God, you got mental health. There's no such thing. We all have issues. We all have problems. We just need to make sure that we're able to tell someone before it's too late. So let's make sure, can I get your commitment that we will focus on mental health for this club? Thank you. I also want you to continue to be a model club. I know you're still in the process of forming a club, but you're doing all the right behaviors, so you will get there. And that's what I want you to say. We will get there, to make sure that you are continuing to ignite and engage people to want to join you and help you bring this initiative forward. And Peter, you said it most, we're going to keep having fun. Again, who wants to join a club that is not smiling? Nobody's smiling. Oh, I beg to tell you, you don't have a fun club if nobody can laugh, nobody can smile, and nobody can have fun, yet while we're all working and rolling up our sleeves and getting the job done. So I wanted to come up. I feel like we are connected and we collaborate. I wanted to come up with an award for our district. So I've come up with what we call the Servant's Heart Award. There are 3 qualifications for obtaining the Servant's Heart. Bring in a new member, which I'm sure you all are working on feverishly. Give to the foundation. I ask you to give at least 25, if not more, per month. And I wanted you to participate, what you're already doing, in a club project, which the school for you is that project. Again, why am I doing this? That's always, remember, a purpose for while we're doing something. I wanted to see if we could increase membership, more hands to help with the work we're doing. Again, I cannot sing enough, retention and succession. We do not want to do all this work and not know who's coming after us to continue that work. It's important, just like you're playing football. You got to pass that ball to the next person who's ready to take it to the goal. Increase foundation giving. We've already talked about the more you give, it's the engine to our service projects. We can do more when we have that. Look at that. We have someone who's already earned the Servant's Heart Award. So David, at this time, I would like to virtually award you with this Servant Heart Award. I will pin you the next time I see you because I've had pins made. But I love a leader that leads from the front. And as we all know, as being veterans, you want to lead from the front with example. So can we just give David a hand for earning and achieving the Servant's Heart Award? I cannot wait to have more. You're welcome. I cannot wait to have more of you awarded, because I know that I've been told by a little birdie that there's more to come. I want to remind you, you're welcome. I want to remind you that we're getting ready for district conference. For those of you who are local, and for those of you who are not, if you want to fly on up and have a good time, because we're going to have fun. We're going to New Bern. It's going to be May 17th and 18th of 2024 for the district conference. And I promise you, we are going to be honing in on the 3 C's. So hope to see you there if you can make it. Also, for those of you who like to travel abroad, we will be going to the Rotary International Convention. That is going to be in Singapore this year. It's going to be May 25th through the 29th. And Jeff Blass, who's the DGE, who's on this call, if you have any questions, he will be sending out information if you'd like to be added to that list. Now I'm at the point, if there's any questions, I would love to answer them.
I'd just like to add on to what you just said, Veronica, about the International Convention. If you like to travel, if you've got the time, if you've got the funds to do it, do it. It will be an experience of your lifetime to see Rotary in the big picture. Just this morning, I picked up an email from Howard Tours. It's not related to David and me, but does have a good name. In any case, it's a tour company that's been run by Rotarians since the 1950s. David and I went on a trip with them doing polio immunizations in India. They offer trips around the time of an international convention. So go to Singapore, and then if you want to do other travel in the region, they have trips to Thailand and to Japan and to Cambodia. So there are other ways you can expand the trip and work with Rotarians and support their businesses.
Marie?
Yeah.
I was just going to add, yes, I got an email from Howard Tours also, but also if you go to the International Convention website, there's a link to the host organizers, and the host organizers also are putting out both pre and post-convention tours that you might want to consider to neighboring countries mostly. So there's a number of ways you can, like as Marie said, extend your trip either before or after the convention.
Are there any questions for DG Veronica?
Not a question now, but I'd just like to say that I found the presentation to be very informative. And what I liked about it too is it kind of helped to shape or bring into sharper focus some of the things that we've actually been doing, right? I picked up a few more things that will definitely help to make it even greater, grander for me, right? But I'm sure that we will be able to make you proud as a district governor in terms of what we have in mind to do.
Thank you very much, Peter. And if there are not any other questions, what I'd like to say to you
Excuse
is
me, Jill has her hand up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Jill, go ahead.
Thank you. I also had a comment, not a question, to thank you for the presentation. I particularly liked how you broke down the organization of Rotary. For me now, it is crystal clear. I'm kind of one of those persons, I love to see the structure and where does the club fit into everything. So thank you very much. It was very informative. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And any other questions? Because I can't see. Any other questions?
I do, but I'm sorry. I have a toddler who just left swimming lessons, so she's hyped. But I just want to say thank you for mentioning mental health. I think that I'm a community housing advocate, and I think that so many times we forget mental health when doing our services. It's so important. You deal with people every day. People are programmed to say they're fine when they're not. I like the fact that you specify looking past their eyes, and sometimes, asking, are you sure? Because we are all built to be okay, right? We're all built to function, to get to the next level, to do what we have to do. And mental health is so important. And I think sometimes in organizations, we forget that aspect to just say, take a moment, take a break. It's okay. We're human. We all deal with it, especially with COVID come around. I know me and my baby recently had COVID, and I was truly depressed during the times because it kind of interrupted my routine and everything that I was used to and just the way about doing things. And there was a moment I had to actually reflect on my mental health and say, okay, I'm not going to show up to work. I'm not going to go to any meetings. I'm going to focus on myself. So it's very humbling and appreciative and inspiring as a district governor for you to address that because sometimes we forget that component and how important it is. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Jaleesa. We've got time for one more question, and Suzanne has her hand up. So Suzanne,
Not a question, but I'm an instructor and facilitator for the family to family class for people who support loved ones that are struggling with mental illness. And I will be happy to put the schedule up. I tell you, all of us know someone who's had a really hard time, and this class is wonderful if anybody's interested.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Great.
So, Veronica, I want to thank you very much indeed for your presentation. You hit on several themes, and I just pulled out some words. Purpose, and as we talked, we had a board meeting with Veronica before the club meeting today, and we talked about how we developed a purpose for this club. We have a clear purpose. We talked about intentionality. We've been very intentional in who we have invited to join this club, and we've been very intentional in our expectations of members. You talked about connections, collaboration, and community. We have been working very hard behind the scenes to make connections, both here in North Carolina and in Jamaica. Collaborators, we have another Rotary Club in North Carolina has agreed to work with us with the Lister Mair Gilby School. We talked about fun. We talked about hope. I can tell you, because I speak by email or WhatsApp every week with Ms. Dockery, the principal of the school. We have already created hope in that school. We talked about partnering. We have a partnership with the Rotary Club of Kingston East and Port Royal. We're doing all the right things, and I think everyone is enthusiastic. I mean, I'm watching you when Veronica asked the question, and I think you're on board. And if you're not, if anything ever happens, please let me or Marie or Peter know, and we will work to make sure you get what you need. So Veronica, you've hit all the key points, I think, for this club. And I thank you very much for a thoughtful presentation. And it's not much, but as you can see on the screen, we have a virtual certificate of thanks here, certificate of appreciation. We will send you a copy. And thank you you can frame it and put it somewhere. Thank you very much indeed.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And I really wish you an amazing year.
Now, Veronica, don't go away.
No.
We have a new member. He's with us this morning, Jerry Brown. Jerry has been with us just for a few weeks. We also have a new affiliate member, David Rosenthal, who's actually a member of the South Granville Rotary Club. We were going to induct him as an affiliate member, but David's not here today. But Veronica, could I ask you to induct Jerry as the newest active member of our club?
Absolutely. Jerry, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So here we go, Jerry. Fellow Rotarians, it is my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into membership in our club, Jerry Brown. The proposal has been reviewed in accordance with our club constitution and the bylaws. We now proceed to admit you into membership in the Satellite E Club, Raleigh International, and to the Friendship of Rotary throughout the world. It has already been explained to you that the ideal of Rotary is service. Our principal motto is service above self, and the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage, foster this ideal as a basis of worthy enterprise. You are to share in this effort. You have been approved for membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your vocation, interested in the ideals of Rotary, and willing to do your share in translating these ideals into action. You have agreed to accept the obligations of membership in this club and to obey this club's constitution and bylaws. Jerry, do you accept all that has been stated?
I do.
With that said, we want to officially welcome you to the Satellite E Club Raleigh International. Fellow Rotarians, I present to you your new member, Jerry Brown.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you very much indeed. That sort of concludes the formal part of the meeting, but as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot has been going on in the background over the last several weeks, and I wanted to take a few minutes just to update everyone on what's been happening. So what I'm going to talk about is our hygiene fundraiser. You know, we're running monthly campaigns to raise money to provide hygiene products to Lister Mair Gilby School for the Deaf. Want to talk about our efforts to establish a not-for-profit foundation. Tell you where we are with the computers and projectors that we're providing to Lister Mair. Want to talk about partners that we developed for the Lister Mair Gilby project. Want to talk a lot about membership and about speakers. So I'm just going to go ahead. If you have any questions, please just interrupt me and I'll be happy to answer them. So first of all, the fundraiser for the hygiene products. We have set a goal of about $110, $120 per month. So far this month, we have raised $380. Now, the three directors, the three members of the board, we've decided we're not going to spend all of that money this month. We are going to spend probably about a third of it, close to our original intent, and hold over the rest so that we will have money if we have a slow month. And the other thought is that perhaps around Christmas time, if we have enough money piled up, we could do something for the teachers and staff to show appreciation for their efforts at the school. If you haven't yet donated, the campaign ends on Monday. So I would like to ask you, if you haven't donated and you would like to donate, please do it by Sunday evening. That QR code on the screen will take you to a PayPal link where you can make a donation. Or I think Marie has sent a URL to PayPal to everyone by email. But if you want to make a donation and you don't know how to get there, let me know. I will get you there. And we'll run a new campaign each month. It's a 30-day campaign each month. So thank you for all you've done so far. The Not-for-Profit Foundation, we actually have a foundation. It's called the Caribbean Outreach Foundation International. A little bit of a mouthful, but it is now registered with the state of North Carolina. It is a North Carolina corporation. And we have applied to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service for 501c3 status, which would allow us to provide certificates for tax-free donations to anyone who donates to us. In the meantime, until we get IRS approval, we have formed a partnership with the local church. It's called the Friendly Chapel Church, and it's in Benson, North Carolina. And you can make donations to them in our name, and they will provide the tax deduction for the donor, and they will then forward the donations to us. I think on the next slide, you can do it online, or you can make a check payable to the church. And if you mail the check to Marie, she will make sure that that check gets to the church. We just want to track the funds in and out. So mail it to Friendly Chapel Church. In the memo line, put something to the effect of Raleigh International Jamaica Project, so that it's clear that that's who it's going to. You can also donate online by going to www.friendlychapelchurch.org, click on Give Online, and then follow the directions. And that money will then be directed to us. Any questions? Okay, let's move on to computers. Our plan is to provide 22 computers, a mixture of desktops and laptops. We have bought 20 of those computers. They're sitting in Peter's house in Florida right now, because we're going to ship from Florida to Jamaica rather than from North Carolina to Jamaica. We still have 2 more laptops to buy. These will have slightly more powerful processors that they're intended for staff use in lesson preparation and whatever. We're in the process of purchasing the desktop monitors to go with the desktop computers. We just bought the computer units. We didn't buy the monitors yet. I'll get to the reason for that in a second. And we still have to buy 8 projectors. And the 9th one has been donated to us through a lady I met at a Rotary networking event. So folks, network. You never know what you're going to find. We need about additional $5,000 to complete the project. However, we have a pledge of $2,000 just came in a couple of days ago. And we have 3 other individuals who have said they will donate through the church, but we don't know the amounts. So we may already be there, but I would encourage you, if you know people who are able and willing to make a tax-deductible donation to the project, please contact them anyway. Any monies that we collect in excess of what we need for this project, we will hold for the project next year. I also want to say that when we first set out, we had an estimated budget of $22,000 to $23,000. But we've been sitting patiently watching online for sales. And Dell Computers, Dell's one of the 3 major computer makers in the United States, probably in the world. They had a sale last month, and we were able to buy 15 desktop computers at a savings of $300 per computer. So we just saved $4,500. The reason why we didn't buy the monitors is we're looking for deals in the monitors too. And it looks like we're going to be able to get 24-inch monitors for $90. I don't know if you're aware, but a 24-inch monitor will cost you normally anywhere between $150 and $200. So we are being stewards of your money, of our money. We're buying carefully. The projectors, we had budgeted $500 per projector. We have found them through networking again for $50 each, $55 each. We're going to save another $4,500. So we're going about this in an intentional and careful way, and we're able to save a lot of money. Partners, I think some of you know that the Rotary Club of South Granville County, they're the club that for years were traveling each year to Nicaragua to work on school projects, school renovation projects, rewiring projects, all kinds of projects in schools in Nicaragua. But because of the political situation in Nicaragua, they've been advised by their partners not to return to Nicaragua. It's too dangerous. So they were looking for another project. And one of the members of the club is an architect, and I had actually contacted him when we were looking at the possibility of building a guidance center for the school. Anyway, that was the initial connection. The bottom line is the club has agreed to partner with us, and 6 of their members will be going to Jamaica with us in January. And we're going to have them meet separately with the school officials and separately tour the school, because using their experienced eye, they've done renovation for years, they are going to look at the details of what will be required for each of the projects on the wish list. So that's another partnering opportunity that has come to pass. I'm really excited about that because they have a lot of experience that we don't have. Membership, as I said, we've got 10 active members and 5 affiliate now. 2 of those affiliate members came from presentations that Marie and I made last week to 2 different Rotary clubs. So again, use your network, get out and talk about what we're doing. We may have another member, another individual who's ready to join as an active member. Our goal is 20 active members by mid-December. So I would ask you to think about who you know that you think would be a good member for this club, who fits our demographic, and remind you, again, we were very intentional, that word again, when we set up this club. Our demographic is mid to late career individuals or retired. And the reason for that is that they will have more time than a younger person who's hustling to start their career. They should have more money because they're earning more, but maybe they're spending more. But the idea is we're looking for individuals who are willing to spend some money on our projects. And most important, we're looking for individuals who have a heart for service, individuals who want to serve others, who want to do good and want to have a lasting impact. If you know of anyone like that, please approach them. Or if you're not comfortable approaching them, Marie or Peter or I will be happy to approach them and see if we can attract them as a member of the club. So, speakers, we have programs scheduled now through the end of November. But I'd ask you, if you have suggestions for interesting speakers, please let us know. If you're willing to go and invite those people to speak with the club, just let me know and I will give you a list of available dates so that we don't end up double booking any particular day. I think with your participation, we can find the kind of speakers that interest you, and make this a more vibrant club. So think about it. So think about members, think about speakers. I want to remind everyone that on October 7th, we're going to have a discussion about the 2 modules in the Rotary Learning Center. One is Rotary Basics, it's about a 15-minute course. The other one is Rotary Foundation Basics, 45-minute course. You get to that through My Rotary. If anyone hasn't signed up yet on Rotary.org, Marie or I can help you do that, and I can show you how to get to the Learning Center. So please take those 2 courses. And it's the kind of course where you can stop in the middle and come back later, remembers where you were. And we will have a group discussion on October 7th. And we're doing this because most people in the club are new to Rotary. So we're trying to introduce a little bit of knowledge about Rotary and the Rotary Foundation. The other thing, for those of you in North Carolina, Rotary's biggest international project for many years has been a program called Polio Plus. Rotary started a program way back in 1985 to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. There were 350,000 cases a year back then. This year to date, there are 7. So this World Polio Day event, Pints for Polio, is a fundraiser. The money will go from us to the Rotary Foundation for the Polio Plus program. And the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will match every dollar you give with two of their dollars, up to $50 million a year. So if Rotary can raise 50 million, that becomes, well, become 100 million, because the Gates Foundation will only match up to 50, but so 2 for 1. So that we're going to have this event Tuesday, October 24th in Cary. It's a suggested donation of $20. You don't need to donate. If you want to give 50, they'll take it. But it's a fun event. Marie and I attended one last year. You'll have Rotarians from all over the district, and drinking beer and having fun. Upcoming meetings through October. So next week, we're having Randy Lanou. He's the architect from the South Granville Rotary Club. Is going to make a presentation on what they've been doing in Nicaragua for the last several years. And then October 7th, as we just discussed, we'll have our discussion of the 2 Rotary learning courses. October 14th, Maureen is going to be on the program doing what we call an I am. She's just going to talk about herself. There are no guidelines. She can say anything she wants to say. The whole idea is to let us get to know Maureen. And later on, as we go through the year, we'll have other individuals do I am sessions so that we can all get to know each other a little better. October 21st, a lady by the name of Camille Isaacs Morel. She is actually in Canada. She will join us by Zoom. She's an expert in dementia, and she's going to talk about dementia. The tsunami is coming. And then October 28th, I think Marie mentioned earlier that she and I went to India in 2020 and took part in a national immunization day for polio. During our trip, there was a professionally produced video made of the trip. It's only 15 minutes long, but we're going to show that. And we're also going to talk about the program is called Polio Plus. So everyone thinks the goal is to eradicate polio, and it is, but what does the plus mean? And so we're going to talk a little bit about what the plus means in Polio Plus, because this program does a lot more than try to eradicate polio. So that's our programs through October. I hope you can join us for everyone. Any questions? Any other comments? Are we all excited? Are we all going to Jamaica?
So let me just say that we want you all to go to Jamaica. You've received some information from me. We want everyone to come, but we're going to limit the tour to 20 people because we've not done this before. And the planning for 20 people in a country you don't live in is a bit of a challenge. So if you want to make sure you go, Your spot will be reserved when I see the money, honey. Give me a check for $700 for your deposit, and your spot is secured. And I'll be sending more information out about that probably today or tomorrow.
And I want to give a shout out to Marie and Vib. Marie and Vib are our travel team. They have been working quite heavily to arrange this trip, and it's a mixture of cultural as well as service and some fun and some networking. So it's been quite interesting watching them plan this for the various events that are going to happen over a 4-day period. Day 1 and day 6, I guess, are the travel days, but the 4 days in between are the fun and service days. So I hope you can join us. If there's no more questions or comments.
I guess, David, Marie, do you mind, it may be that you sent an email and I probably missed it, but what, did you decide on the dates? I'm assuming based on what you just said, that means you decided on the January dates.
Yeah, so it's January 30th through February 4th. So we leave on a Tuesday, we come back on a Sunday. So you'll miss just under a work week's worth. We had outlined the agenda, and of course, once you start having conversations with the various people that need to be involved, the agenda is very fluid right now, but we know basically what we're going to do, just that when it gets done may well change. But I'll update our current agenda. The biggest thing is we need to make sure that we can work with the school at a time that is convenient for them. They happen to have testing that week, so we need to be sensitive to the fact that the children are taking important tests and not impinge on their schedule. So anyway, so it's a work in progress, but we've got the bones of this trip down, and it's going to be a good time.
So we will spend part of 2 days at the school. On one day, there will be a tour for everyone who hasn't been there before, so you can become oriented to the school and some of their needs. The other day, we will actually make a formal presentation to the school and have a handover ceremony, if you will, for the computers. In addition to that, we are having a cocktail reception on one evening where we will invite staff from the school as well as members of our partner Rotary Club, RCKEPR. We have a couple of cultural events, tours, if you like, to cultural sites in Jamaica. And we will have a service project working alongside our partners in the Rotary Club of Kingston East and Port Royal. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And Maureen, if you didn't get that notice, I'll be happy to resend it to you. I'll do that later today.
Oh, yeah, I won't say that I didn't get it. I just may not have seen it.
I know what your life is like.
Yeah, I will send an updated version today with what's changed. I did want to mention, Veronica talked about differently abled people. One of the things in the conversation with the principal of the school this week has been for the reception, we will have deaf people there that do not speak, and they will have translation. And she said it's intentional for them to have that experience, both for us and them. So we will not only see the kids when we're at school, and we're going to try to see the software that our computers will enable that will help them become bilingual, Jamaican Sign Language, English. We will meet the staff people in that reception and have a chance to get to know them better.
And just to add to Marie, we'll have an opportunity to be able to learn some of the Jamaican Sign Language. Because when we were down there last time, we learned some of the basics. I've forgotten some of them, but I expect to keep practicing when I interact with them.
And I guess the last thing I'll say before we end the meeting is that I want to remind people that while this trip is a service trip for us to enhance the capabilities of the school, it really is primarily a trip to build relationships and rapport with both the school staff and with our colleagues in the Rotary Club of Kingston East and Port Royal. So it's partly to get you guys excited, to let you guys see firsthand the impact we can have there. But it's partly to build these relationships and networks so that everyone understands who we are and what our intent is, and that we're committed to continuing seeing this through to whatever the end is. So thank you all for your enthusiasm and your participation. Thank you. So let's